This is Joey.T. from the Cartoon P, seeing a musical film that makes me want to see. I'm not going to do this video in song, but after seeing Coco, I feel the urge to sing a verse or two. This is the driving car vlog. I have no title for these things, so whatever. I just got out of seeing Coco in theaters, and here are my thoughts straight from the theater. What did I think of the movie? First off, before seeing Pixar's Coco, there was a big thing with Disney trying to trademark the Mexican holiday Dias de los Muertos. This happened a couple years ago, and it was a very big deal in that basically they wanted to trademark a holiday, and for a lot of people that's like, no, this is, this is something we all do. You're not supposed to trademark a holiday. But like, it didn't go through, and out of that we noticed more movies that dealt with the holiday Dias de los Muertos, like Book of Life, a movie that I've reviewed on my channel and I thought was very good, if not a little cliched at times. And then for a lot of people going into Coco, they saw the trailers to this movie and they picked up on similarities between this movie and that. For starters, the movie stars musicians. In the trailer, it's marketed to star musicians, specifically guitarists, and it's focused on Dias de los Muertos, the mysticism of Dias de los Muertos, of going into the land of the remembered, where the souls reside, before going to the land of the living to visit their long-lost relatives. And other than those comparisons, I'm glad to say that this is not a rip-off of Book of Life. This is its own original thing, and I'm glad by that. And I was following the YouTube, internet, whatever. I was following social media, and the director of Book of Life was very adamant about people making these comparisons. Like, no, they're their own thing. Stop comparing the two. Stop making it seem like I'm bitter, and I'm really not. I'm just glad that this movie exists. And I am very glad I got a chance to see this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. So what is Coco about? So I mentioned before, it takes place in Dias de los Muertos in a Mexican town. There's a young boy who wants to express himself. He loves music, but his family, because of something in their past, they're cursed, and their family was broken because of music. So they decided to go into a trade that has nothing to do with music, and anything to do with music, they forbid. It just so happens that this young boy, Miguel, loves music so much, he wants to express himself. He believes that his grandfather is this great musician. They don't know much about it. This has been long lost history to them. And it's there that he finds the guitar of this musician, and he ends up in the land of the remembered, the land of the remembered in the Dias de los Muertos. And that's all I'm going to say as far as the plot, because believe it or not, the advertisements are very smart as to what to reveal and what not to reveal. There's a lot of spoilers. I could be potentially spoiling the video if I talk about anything more. So really, by talking about the plot, all I can really talk about is if it's good or not. And I can't really comment on what happens in the plot. All I can say is this. There are things that you'll see coming if you've seen a lot of Disney movies and if you've seen a lot of Pixar movies. Certain beats, certain characters that you're familiar with. But I'm going to say that even though it's cliched, that doesn't make it bad. It just means that they're adding something new to it. Adding something new to these characters that I didn't see coming and didn't expect them to see coming when watching this movie. I think it's very hard when you have a movie that focuses on art and in whether to express yourself, because in movies, if you have a character that wants to be an artist, and even in Book of Life, it is bad. It's bad for the family business. Don't do it. It's bad. But there's a reason in this movie why art is forbidden, why it's forbidden and how it's forbidden, and where they go with it is actually pretty clever. I actually thought it was pretty good with the way they handled it. Didn't feel too heavy-handed, but where they went with it wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed where they went with this story, as far as how art is treated, especially when it comes to originality in art. Because I know it mainly talks about music, but it also focuses on just the general idea of art, and that what is true originality in art? Who really creates the art, and how is it expressed, and what its intentions mean, and why art even exists? It's a reflection of life, and that's why I love art, and watching this movie makes me appreciate why I love art, because much like Dias de los Muertos, an artist creates his world, reflects his world through music, through paintings, through pictures, any way so that they can be remembered and not forgotten, and their pieces live on forever. And there's something very transcendent about that that's reflected in this story that I enjoyed immensely, done very well. Characters in this movie, I'm not going to spoil too much about these characters. You got a couple funny characters, a couple heartfelt characters that kids are going to enjoy. I enjoyed. Like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about the spoilers, but I will talk about the main character you've seen in the trailers, Miguel. Good character, good to follow along with. I think it's funny because in the movie, he needs to go back to the land of the living, but the big struggle is that his main ancestors don't want him to go back loving music, you know, the same way his living ancestors don't want him to go back loving music. So it's a funny moment in the film reflecting that. I'm not going to say what it is, but if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. The animation is gorgeous. This is Pixar animation. Don't expect anything less. It's really good. Gorgeous to look at. Very beautiful. Even the actual world of the Land of the Living is different from the one that was portrayed in Book of Life, in that it reminded me of Spirited Away in a sense, where there's this world between the lines between the living and the spirit world are very clear and concise, and in some ways I actually felt like it was borrowing more from Spirited Away than it was from, say, just Dias de los Muertos or even Book of Life. And I wonder why a lot of people haven't really brought up comparisons to Spirited Away, because to me this movie reminded me so much of that film, and that the way they created this spirit world is very reflective of the spirit world in Spirited Away. Has a lot of spirits in that sentence. Don't blame me, this is off the cuff. But all I gotta say is this was really good. I highly recommend you see it. It is a Pixar movie. It will most likely make you cry. Last 15 minutes of the movie, I could have looked to the side and sworn that someone was cutting up onions because I was tearing up. These characters they created were very deep. They were very developed. These characters were rich, and the things they did in this film, while have been done in other movies, the way they were portrayed and the story they were telling was actually done very well. Very faithful. Loved it. And it did make me tear up. I will see this movie again. For now, I'm going to say that this is a solid A. This is worth it. I know I'm not cool on letters, but to me, this is an A movie. I wish I could say more, but like I said, I'm going to be spoiling the movie, so there isn't really that much for me to say about it. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've seen the movie. Let me know if you've seen this movie. Let me know what you thought about Olaf's Frozen Adventure, because I didn't really talk about this, but 20 minutes into the movie, before the movie even starts, Disney released a short film, and not like the normal shorts that you see that are like 5 minutes. This was like a full 20-minute Christmas special in front of the movie featuring the characters from Frozen. I didn't mind it because I like Frozen, but I'm thinking to myself, how many people were really paying to see Olaf's Frozen Adventure, also featuring the feature-length film Coco, I think a lot of this had to do with the fact that Pixar released 2 movies this year, and the short that they originally released, Lou, which was in front of Cars 3, meant that they didn't have a short that they could put in front of their movie. So I guess they just asked Disney. I was like, hey, Disney, do you got something we can put in front of our movie? Here's this. It's 20 minutes long. Too bad! So you're stuck watching Olaf and all those fun characters from Frozen for 20 minutes. Let me know what you thought about that. I thought that was kind of interesting. Didn't mind it so much. But either way, that's what I thought about the movie Coco. Comment below. Let me know what you think. I gotta finish off this video in song. No, I don't. Take care, everybody.